Intro to systems. So this is linear systems of equations, and this is some procedural practice. All right, so solve the system by graphing. So what we're going to do is we're going to graph this on a coordinate plane. And so I am going to have you sketch a graph in your notes. So just watch for a second before you do this. I'm going to use my lines on my notebook paper as points. So I'm not going to draw a whole big grid line. I already can see that I have a y-intercept of -6, so I do know that my y-axis needs to go down to -6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. All right, and we're going to go out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So just giving myself a sketch of a graph. Okay, so now if we're going to graph a system, we need to have it in slope-intercept form. So remember, that's your x-axis, this is your y-axis. This equation here is already in slope-intercept form. This equation is not. So we're going to rearrange it by solving for y. So getting y alone. So we'll minus x on both sides. Cross that out. You should remember this from our last unit, right? 4y equals -x plus 4. Divide by 4 on both sides completely. And so now we have y equals -x over 4 plus 1. So remember, when I'm doing this, I'm dividing this here and this here. All right, so we will go ahead and graph this line highlighted in green. So my y-intercept is -6, and then -2 is my slope. So it's -2 over 1. So y-intercept at -6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll show you what I'm doing here. I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 on the y-axis in the negative direction. So put our point there. And now I'm going to change to another color in gray just so you can barely see it. I'm going to count my slope -2 over 1. So remember, if you have a negative slope, you can either treat the rise as negative or the run as negative. So I'm going to rise 2, and then if it needs to be negative, I need to go in the negative direction 1. So I just did a negative line. If I think about connecting those points, that is a negative line. It is going down left to right. And then I'm going to rise 2 and run -1. And I'm going to keep doing that for a second. Rise 2 and run 1. And I'm doing this so that way I have a lot of good points on my graph so that I can find that intersection point when we get it. Rise 2, run 1. All right, so we've got our line there. I'll connect it the best I can. All right, there's my first line. All right, for my next one, we're going to start with our y-intercept here at +1, and our slope here is -1 over 4. So here we can go down 1 and over 4, and that gives me a point there, but I want to get closer to this other line, so I'm actually going to go up 1 the other direction and over 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So is that up 1 and run 1, 2, 3, 4. Run 4. And then you'll notice that when I graph it, this purple dot falls right on top of that. And I can connect, oops, let's try that again. I can connect these points the best I can with a straight line. And so now you can see that we have this line here and this line here intersecting at their solution. Which is the x-coordinate 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 4, y value 2. You could always check by plugging in x and y into both of these equations and seeing if it works.